The opioid epidemic is definitely much bigger here than I even would have thought. We don't have a place where you can be like, oh, drive over there and you'll see 15 people getting high.
I'm glad you guys connected though, because he needs...
It's very individualized and it's very hidden. A lot of people are using alone, so there's no one there to save them if they need it. I don't think you'd find a single family in our county or our state that hasn't been affected in one way or another.
Good question. That's between them and the trustee, but I agree. I hear you.
I'm with the community action team in Machias, and I'm in the FADE group, which is for fighting addiction down east in Calais.
Hard part from home, everything is everywhere.
We do referrals, we do peer support, and people that you probably never thought would get involved in anything, stepping up and being like, I want to be a part of this, I want to educate people, we need more here, and I want to be part of that. Some days there's definitely not enough hours in the day, but I keep going because I know there's not a single lost cause. No one is hopeless if they're living. As long as they're breathing, there is hope for them.
You ever witness an overdose? And if so, how many?
Probably about 8 times.
This is basically just tracking to know trends, what people are trying if they don't have naloxone, if people aren't calling 911, why.
Do you want any test strips to go with that?
That way we can go back to the state and say, you may see that there's
think a lot
this
of people
many
are
overdoses,
scared.
but the reality is there's this many more, and people are scared to call police because they don't want to get in trouble.
Anybody? Have anyone call me?
When I first started seeking recovery, there was a divide. There was them and then there was us. There was no middle ground. Took the fence down and now there's just this big middle. Hey, bud. How's it going?
Well, I mean, not much really's changed. I'm still trying to find a way into a sober house. I guess you call it abuse benzos. It's probably abuse since I buy them from the street.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, some of them have fentanyl in it and things like that, which is not ideal.
Is there anything that I can do? Any information of programs that you want?
I mean, I'd be interested in anything that changes the way things have been going for the last 3 years since the mother of my child left. I mean, I'll have one good weekend with him, and then 2 weeks of hating myself.
Don't do that to yourself, man. You're worth being happy, bud.
Thanks, man.
You just gotta find your shine again.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. Yeah, all right.
See? Beautiful green eyes.
There's always a judgment-free zone here, bud. You know that.
I know, man.
You know this. I have tons of hope for you, bud.
What am I telling you? Or do you want to type it? Or
No, you can type it. Just say this is the medical records, prescribed medicine records. It's opioid claim. As I was prescribed really large doses of OxyContin after a car accident, 60 milligrams 3 times a day. And it's supposed to be good for 24 hours, one of those pills, and they were just pumping me full of them. And I told them a couple of times that, I didn't need all that medicine. And so they gave me 240 perks on top of all the rest and told me to take those for breakthrough pain, but still to keep taking the oxys. So it's like, the more they could prescribe. Anybody, there was a time where anybody could get them. People that You know, just walk in and my head hurts. It was like the miracle drug. You know? Yeah, so.
You know, it's very hard to break that cycle. You know, we've had way more overdoses and reported overdose deaths in the past 6 months alone. I think people just feel hopeless. It's sad. It's a sad realization that the things that we've been doing to combat this epidemic for the last 10 years has failed.
It's a long day.
Yeah, I had a doctor's appointment today, too.
Yeah.
And my lungs are bad, my heart's bad, I got a big pulse, so as soon as I get my head squared away, I need to get my lungs and my heart squared away. My pulse has been really high for a couple days.
Well, that happens. You're only a few weeks out from being on anything, so your body's going to take a while to get to any kind of normal. So, but I'm glad you got into her.
Oh, yeah, and it's only about an hour a day where I can't sit still, so it ain't too bad.
Zach, you're falling apart, and you're not even 35 yet.
I know it.
It's very, very hard to navigate the system and know what's there for supports and for help. And even if you have tons of help, you feel alone. A lot of people may need someone to just say, hey, I see where you're at. I want to help you. I want to just care for you. Everything is stored at my house, in my garage, my basement, and soon to be playhouse. Bandages, gauze. I've got everything organized in little totes and a car organizer, so different sizes of syringes. Everything gets loaded in the back of the car. We meet people where they're at and help them and support them with whatever they need. I don't want people to think that just because they use, they have to get into recovery.
We have the BD 29 half-inch ones right now.
Because harm reduction is a model for a reason.
Well, if you know anybody else that wants anything like that.
I don't know what it is. I need the de-identified code.
Yeah. Okay. But it's building a relationship with people
Yes, exactly.
who, when they're ready, they've got a foot in the door because they're coming to see me and they're building that trust.
People don't expect it this much.
I guess somebody OD'd in Woodland this morning and died.
Someone we know?
I didn't recognize the name. I guess he's in around his early 50s somewhere. They found him in a car this morning, I guess. So.
Alone, and you want to stay to yourself more, use your drugs by yourself more, you don't want to be around your friends. It's just so bad to be an addict. I was lifeguard for 10 years. I was real well liked in the community. But when you're stereotyped and people look at you real down, it's hard to reach out. It's just since all the recovery coaches and the recovery centers opened up, where it really changed the town. People are learning more now that it's a disease, not just a choice. You're full of hope because people are waving to me again. An addict like me, fresh off the boat, I'm only about 20 days, but I look at my phone and there's messages and so much support, and I didn't have that before. Where you at? Thought you were supposed to be in town. That's the only thing that's keeping me alive right now. I've known chastity my whole life, basically. The very minute I was ready to get clean, she was right there supporting me.
Go to work. How's that going?
I know she told me at work today, she's like, if you need more time off, you can, but I'm feeling good now. I'm sleeping now.
Right.
Now I talk to her every day. If I can't call her, I text her. Jesus, Chastity, I couldn't sit still for an hour today. Well, I know it. Try reading a book or something. Go out, take a walk. Oh, it feels good right there. I have to chase my recovery like I chased addiction. I'm not going to be able to walk into recovery. I feel like I'm going to have to chase it. I feel so good right now and positive. There's going to be always people against me, but right now there's a lot of people for me right now.
Don't burn up your good ones. I used to say I am a drug addict, and I don't say that anymore. I say I'm an umpire, I'm a dad, I'm a recovery coach. Those are all things that I couldn't say 10 years ago.
People can and do recover, and anybody and everybody is capable of it. No matter what it looks like, everybody is capable of it.
You know, that all came from my community, saying it's okay, we know your secrets, and we accept you back into this community, and that's what a community like this does.
Just because you've done things you're not proud of doesn't mean you're a bad person. We've all done things we're not proud of, and those actions aren't what make us who we are. With my daughter, to her, I'm just helping people, and that's what I do. She doesn't look at it any deeper than that. The very first recovery walk that we do in Machias during September for National Recovery Month, she had a sign that said, I walk for my mommy, but she didn't know why she walked for her mommy. Night, beauty. After she asked why she was walking for her mother, it was just time to start talking to her more and telling her more about myself.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Jeremy Dean, also not alive. And her husband used to bring stuff down to us. He was the first person that I knew that overdosed and died. I think that's the first time I ever had to tell Graham what was going on. Yeah. So the first time she removed me from her will. I don't think I look like what people expect from someone in active use.
Wasn't that right before, did Dad kick you out of the house?
Right before this
Right
trip,
before this
he
trip.
kicked me out, but Mom wanted me to go on it so Graham wouldn't know anything was wrong. So I went.
It was 2003, right? I wrote that letter. Let me read it.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Chastity, what did I ever do to you for you to treat me like you do? Is it the precious love I've given or the support I've always shown? I don't really know what it is, but please let me know. I do care about you, but you've become the least of my worries. The life you're living is such a sad story. The drugs have taken over, that's all I can say. I want nothing to do with you, never, starting today. So farewell, Linny, my darling sweet pea. I will miss you dearly. But not the way you treated me. I told Mom to throw it away and she wouldn't let me.
I was gonna ask why she'd keep it. I don't really like that you started to cry because I can't do tears or eye stuff. Want tissue?
I'm going hyper.
I always thought a person who's addicted to drugs is what you see in the movies. They live in an alley, they are desperate, they don't have a good upbringing, and I was the opposite of all that. I deal with it all much better now. because I know what I was, I know what I did. You don't grow without knowing. You gotta learn, and you gotta be willing to learn. And I guess be vulnerable.
So we need to talk about the overdose awareness and recovery month. So that's what we're doing here tonight.
I don't know if everyone knows, but the overdose deaths have risen significantly in our state. Also, I mean, there's also been a lot more overdoses that have been saved, even if they aren't being reported, so that's good. So great, not only it takes a community, and people looking at recovery or substance use disorders as black and white, they're missing so much. Whatever you think you need as a person with or without a substance use disorder, then that's what they need. People need human connection. They need to not feel judged. They need to feel supported. They also need their basic needs met. There needs to be transportation and housing and treatment. We're not different than anybody else. We are just like everybody else. We all need connection. We all need connection and need to feel loved and be able to love.